Judy, Mel's top available player. Other notables are Judy's teammate Tua Tagovailoa at number 4 and Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert at number 8. On that note, we welcome in the man himself, the guru, Mel Kiper. Hi, Mel. Mel,
can you hear us?
I got you.
Oh, what's going on, buddy?
That
was a little fake out.
That was quite the delay.
You did that on purpose.
What's the deal with that, Mel? Mel, you played me on national TV.
Yeah, he played you. Never, right? Molly.
Molly in the commercial break told Mel to deliver a message for her. He resented it, Molly.
Whatever. We have a friend in common. All right, Mel, I can't deal with these two today. Let's start with the quarterback everyone will be talking about next spring. You have Tua as your 4th best prospect. Todd McShay has him at number 1. What does he have to prove this season for you to agree with your boy Todd?
A lot. No, I think we're tied. But in terms of the number 1 spot, Jerry Jeudy is his go-to guy. And Tua, of course, did not finish strong, obviously. Wasn't 100%. So go through the year. You got a lot of cupcakes before you get to some tough games. Put up the numbers, be accurate, which you know he is. I want to see a little bit better arm strength and finish strong. And if he does that, Tua will be in line to be the number 1 pick. We know that. But right now, I think there are some other players right now who have more defined elite grades, beginning with Jerry Jeudy.
Mel Kiper Jr., always good to talk to you, my buddy. Always good to talk to you. Let's get right to it. I mean,
sure.
A wide receiver has not been taken number 1 overall since Keyshawn Johnson in 1996, if I remember correctly. You got this guy, Jerry Jeudy, going he's number 1 in your big board. Talk to me about what you think. You really believe that NFL teams would take a receiver number 1 overall in today's day and age when somebody like Tua could be available?
Well, let me explain. The big board's not a mock draft, Stephen A. So I'm not trying to predict what's going to happen. This is just based on a rating. And a rating of the Jerry Jeudy is right now puts him at that number 1 spot. Look at that A.J. Green, Julio Jones, and those guys. We haven't had receivers of this caliber be rated this high basically since that group. And we forced a lot of guys way up there, some of which have been major busts. These guys aren't forced. These guys are the real deal. And I had 5 in the top 25. I could have very easily had 7. Didn't put Jalen Reagor, TCU, in that spot. Could have had others as well. I think you look at where they are right now. These guys are proven entities already. I think you look at where they'll be come late April. Jerry Jeudy's going to be a top 5 pick. His teammate Devontae Smith's really good. Henry Ruggs III, another teammate, really good. So I think there's some guys there that we talk about. Lynn Bowden's another kid at Kentucky. Keep an eye out for him being in the first round. So this is the best group of receivers we've seen in a long time. Great news for the NFL, for fantasy leaguers. You want scoring, you need receivers. We haven't had it. Now we finally do. And Jerry Jeudy is a special talent. I've compared him, guys, to Marvin Harrison. Remember Marvin Harrison?
Of course.
Averaged about 20 yards a catch coming out of Syracuse. Yeah. Great career. I was with Marvin at the Hula Bowl when he came out. Great work ethic, great route runner. That's what Jerry Jeudy is.
Put him with Peyton Manning and Edgerrin James, I'm sure anyone would do well. Yeah, but Marvin Harrison was special. I understand it's a big board, Mel. It's not a mock draft. You're simply grading them and you're going down the list. However, do you think, getting back to the quarterback position for a second, that maybe Tua is where he is because of the direct comparison to Trevor Lawrence? In other words, not that long ago, Tua was going to be the number 1 prospect in the country and da-da-da-da-da. And then all of a sudden you saw him head-to-head literally with a guy who's just better. And so now when you talk about elite, how do you grade out at the position? You're being graded against the guy who may be a generational talent. Is that putting downward pressure on your ranking of Tua, do you think? Trevor Lawrence.
I didn't even think about it, Max. I don't even worry about Trevor Lawrence. He's a couple years away. You know, he's not eligible this year. He's finally going to be eligible after his junior campaign, and we'll see where he is. He's already been talked about as the next number 1 guy like Andrew Luck was early in his career. It worked out for Andrew going number 1. Obviously, Lawrence will as well, more than likely. But I think when you look at Tua is a guy who I think when you look at the schedule, playing pitch and catch, remember, he was going to transfer. If he doesn't get that opportunity late in the end of that freshman season, who knows what happens? Then he gets that chance. He wins the football game on the pass to Smith. This year, Hurts bailed him out. Then it came to the final game, and he didn't play well, but he was banged up. So arm strength, he's not 6'4". He's about 6'1", 6'2", probably more 6'1". You got to show a little bit better arm strength. I think he will this year. And if he does, he's going to be in line to be the number 1 pick. But there's some other great players. Chase Young, great pass rusher at Ohio State. Grant Delpit, great safety. The teammate of Tua's, Xavier McKinney, is a great safety. He's moving up. So I think when you look at Tua, and I look at Justin Herbert 2 years ago was considered to be the number one guy. Then his stock dropped, so he's got to kind of regain the spot that he had a couple years ago, bouncing back from a disappointing year last year. So it's not all about Tua. Justin Herbert's in this discussion.
Mel, that's exactly where I was going with my next question, because you got Justin Herbert at number 8 on your big board, and obviously Tua at number 4. We're talking about the quarterback position, by and large, widely considered the most important position on a football team, on a football field. And then when you look at your description of Herbert, what do you say here? Great size, a powerful arm to make every throw, limited interceptions, good athleticism. I understand the question marks that you threw out there as well, Mel Kiper Jr., but usually when you say those attributes and you attach that to a quarterback, that's usually enough to go number 1 overall in today's day and age.
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, Josh Allen was the same way coming out of Wyoming. Great talent, a little inconsistent. Justin Herbert, great talent, a little inconsistent last year. And if he gets back to where he was 2 years ago, when that completion percentage was up over 67, completion percentage this past year around 59. So he's got talent around him. They added Johnson, the receiver from Penn State. This is a team opens up with Auburn. How do they do against that defense? Don't read a lot into that, because people always do with quarterbacks. Say, how does he play against that good defense? If he doesn't play well, move him down. It doesn't matter. It's about your team, and it's about your supporting cast that will contribute to the quarterback against those types of opponents. So in Justin Herbert's case, stay healthy the entire way. Remember, 2 years ago he had the injury. Last year he was inconsistent. Put it all together, and Justin Herbert will be in line to be the number 1 pick overall. If he doesn't, then he's going to be one of those guys that people are basing it more on potential, and then he drops a bit. So I think, we'll see how they play. This is all based on where they are right now. It's not defined come late April. So we got a long way to go and a lot of football to be played. But Justin Herbert, you cannot question his talent. He's got a ton of it coming into the draft this year and coming into this whole draft process.
Just needs to be a bounce-back year for him. Mel, we've known each other a long time, so you can assume where I'm going right now. Personal agenda. Can we talk about my New York Football Giants? When they drafted that quarterback 6th overall, all New Yorkers were booing, screaming, angry like the one to my left. Tell me this. What do you expect from him at the NFL level?
I like Daniel Jones, and I like the accuracy, and people question, I like the release. McShay said it was a slow release. I thought it was a quick release. So we went back and debated Daniel Jones. Yeah, he fits the mold of what David Cutcliffe wanted, coming out of that Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, David Cutcliffe environment there. And he's a great kid. He's a hard worker. He's smart. He's won over his team. Don't read anything into preseason. This is a historically bad preseason. They're not playing anybody. I mean, this is amazing. It's really ridiculous what's going on, but they're protecting guys because of injury. Quarterbacks are out there. They got questionable supporting cast. They're playing against defensive players, a lot of guys you won't see in the NFL. I call them AOGs, another occupation guys, is what you're playing against, and you're not showing anything. So I wouldn't read anything good or bad indifferent into the preseason, except to say Daniel Jones has more than held his own. He's thrown the ball exceptionally well, had a couple of mistakes, big deal. Eli Manning's the quarterback right now, guys. Whether you like it or not, Eli's the guy, and then Daniel Jones will be brought along. If they're losing, Daniel Jones will get in there earlier than expected. If they're winning some games, then they'll wait it out on Daniel Jones. But right now, I don't think David Gettleman and I don't think the Giants are disappointed. I think they're pretty happy with the quarterback they brought into the fold. And the critics and the skeptics will keep hoping Daniel Jones fails, because that's what critics and skeptics do. They root against guys. And that's what happens in this league. If you didn't like them coming in, you hope they prove you right. If you like them, you hope they prove you right there, and they're good. So, again, it's going to be that whole thing back and forth on Daniel Jones. Maybe the guys that didn't like him, Molly, will never like him. Who knows?
No, you're right. I like that. And I appreciate your optimism as well. Well, my summer's officially over because I just spoke to Mel Kiper for the first time, but it's always good to hear you. Mel, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Any
you got it. Take care, guys.
Run for you?
No other errands.
Deliver any messages, get your laundry, anything like that? No.
Don't get mad because Mel and I are cool. Always need all the attention. John Gruden certainly loves him some Antonio Brown, but does he need more tough love with the star receiver? Find out that next. It's First Take.
The NFL season is right around the corner.
Excitement is building as week 1 approaches.